What's happening, man? What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Um, this video is gonna be about some real talk, like a lot of different things. Normally, if I go live, I have like 10 things on the topic, but this is about our people. Black people. Can we have some real talk? Um, I've been working my butt off sometimes, so you gotta excuse me. But I've been thinking. Oh, first shout out. What's up, Naima? First shout out to BGS. Whoever trolled them, I hope bad stuff happened to you. Release your mic. Nikiva, Eric, what's going on? Legend, AL, what's happening? But this video is gonna be about a lot of real things. Vernon, Gregory, and starting with self-evaluation. What's up, Elijah? Yamil, what's happening? It starts with self-evaluation. Man, they shouldn't have whoever did that shouldn't have did that to BGS. That's trifling. If I could say some things that I would like to say, I'm not, because I would try to hurt a person like that. That's trifling. You know. Um, you finally got the notification. I appreciate it. First, we got to talk about self-evaluation. I think a lot of times yeah, they do. They definitely do. Nikiva, somebody basically trolled BGS to the point that they wound up trolling one of his kids, and I don't. That's not. I don't respect that. I don't respect that. That should get you shot. But that's just my opinion. Um, but let's start with the self-evaluation. You know, I think in our community we have to take a good look at self-evaluation. What's up, Third Ward? Cynical. What's good? And what I mean by self-evaluation, um, the more these things, incidents happen in the community, and the more people talk about things, in the information age, I don't think we look at ourselves. Y'all know who he is, but I ain't gonna give him a. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Ever, what's up? Um, but a lot of us, we're not being realistic about who we are, where we are. Fam, you know what? We not even. I'm not even gonna do it. I would love to tell you, but BGS made a thing about him last night. If it's still up, you gonna see it, legend. Look up BGS's last video. His name's right there. But I ain't giving him a trifling. But let me get into this, man. Self-evaluation. A lot of us are not being honest about who we are, where we stand. And I thought about this. I thought about this because I remember before I got in that car wreck, one of my friends told me, you getting big, and I'm like, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, all right, but I'm not paying attention because I'm lifting weights, so like I'm getting swole up top. What's up, L.A.R? What's going on? And I didn't realize I was getting swole around the gut too, right? So I saw one of my friends did like he did remember that ice bucket challenge, right? Oh, thank you, Naima. Um, that ice bucket challenge, and I saw a picture of myself. I was like, yo, now I need to lose some weight, B. I don't like that. And I thought about it. Um, when we're looking at people and them being able to see themselves in social media and see if they evolve or regress, a lot of people are not taking a practical, honest self-evaluation of self, and that's trifling because a lot of times nobody feels like, I ain't gonna say nobody, people feel like they don't have room for improvement because they've already overshot who they were. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm all right. I'm just fine. No, you're not really fine. You're not really. your best self. You're still a work in progress. You got some things to you got some things that you need to do. And I think about that because a lot of us don't want to do the work. You know, I don't. Omega. I don't think you can surpass improvement because I think it's a constant. It's a constant growth because you're gonna wind up. Congratulations, Aubrey. Congratulations. You know, yeah. People they switch up. I feel you on that era. You know, and I think, but the reason I'm talking about self improvement and self evaluation is not because we're delusional about ourselves. It's because a lot of people are cowardly in taking a good look at yourself. We're cowardly about, man, where are my shortcomings? We're not having those conversations with other people who say, look, you good in this area, but you're not so good in this area. You need to touch up on this. This I got it figured out and I got it together. No, we don't, because we might be great. And what's up, Casper? My bad, J. Though. I'm sorry. You know, I feel you. I feel you on that, Omega. But to transcend things, you're gonna have to actually, evaluate things and see where you need to. You ain't see the one that said cockroach, cynical. Just tell me if you saw the one that said cockroach, because that's what he called it. His name and then cockroach. Young Jay, what's up? It's hard to have yeah, it is. And it's hard to have those conversations because a lot of people don't want to take constructive criticism, or even if it's not constructive, if it's just criticism. All right, you know, cool. Like, hey Dana, hey, how you doing? Smoking bull. Right, you got to take a legit look at yourself. You got to, you know, because if you don't, how you gonna ever improve? Like, I know there's things that I need to improve on, and I talked about this a while back when I went back to Chicago. Um, One of my friends, she was like, when I got back, she was like, you looking good, and for me, I'm like, it doesn't make sense because, like, I look the same as I did when I was in high school. I had a picture up here, but I don't have it no more. But I don't really look different from how I did in high school, honestly. Same hairstyle and everything, because I cut my hair bald when I was in high school. And we had a conversation, and she said, you know what? You pretty much do look the same. It's just, and we paused and we kind of both said at the same time, it's like, you're more confident now because of life. I was unsure of myself when I was younger. Not necessarily unsure of myself. I was going and, oh, Shay Linus, what's up, fam? How you doing, man? We got to mess with you, Methuselah. But being unsure of myself because, and I keep saying unsure, but I wasn't. I was so focused on something else that, you know, tired of, but, but I'm just, shit, I'm tired as hell right now. I can tell you that, Cynical. I've been working 10, 12-hour days for the past month. I'm tired right now. But I had learned to look at myself differently because when I look at old pictures, I'm like, yo, same person, different uh, experiences made me a better person. The adversities too. Yeah, you can be your hardest critic, and sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes people think about you don't have to beat yourself into the ground, but you gotta take a good look at yourself. And I'm going somewhere with this, so let me just get into this part of it because I'm thinking about us as a community as Black people, right? Um, we talk about financially, right? It's good. Yeah, and it still is, Zeus. It still is. You know. So when I was thinking about us, we talking about black people. Where we at? We need to compete, and we definitely do need to compete. And I started thinking about it in this sense where we're not giving ourselves enough credit because we talk about how the crack era destroyed the family, and I started thinking like, really nobody has had to deal with that but us. Nobody. So to think we should be financially on the same level as every other group in America, I think it's a bit presumptuous. But I love that we're on each other's heads about this because I started thinking like, you know, the crack era just didn't destroy the community as far as drugs, but it destroyed something more than that, which is skills. The crack era took the skills out of the black community. You know, because now that I look at it at this type of, we're real cool. We cool. It made some people rich, but it took a lot of the skills out of our community because when I think about it, what's up, AM man? How you doing, man? When I think about the crack era, because I think about the '80s and early '90s. G Star, what's up? You know, yeah. Well, I mean, Omega. Everyone, I don't know the people who had the nice cars and it was in the suburbs. I know the people who was in the streets shooting, and I see the pictures of everybody who was in the suburbs. But the reason I bring this up is when I look at it, all the things that were taught and passed down through families, the crack era ended that. It wasn't just um, at the same time the schools were taking wood shop, and uh, um, uh, auto shop, all that stuff out of the classrooms. What's up, Jamar? You know, but at the same time, we didn't have people in the family teaching that stuff because of the crack era. So to think that we need to be on par with white people financially in America is ridiculous. Because you can't, they had slavery, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, Reconstruction, Jim Crow. When they passed all the laws to get these people to land grants and property grants, and years of scamming the hell out of everybody else to get rich, to have generational wealth, and just the people who actually worked and earned it. They had no crack era. Think about it. The Hispanics had no crack era. The Asians had no crack era. You know, and all of the even bootlegging, they made bootlegging legal. So guess what? And it didn't really destroy the community. Of course, yeah, I get it. I get it, Omega. Yeah, they got the cartel era, but they got a lot going on over there. But the reason I think about that is because we got to ask where we are financially. What's up, Toddy? Because I don't think some of us realize we're going to be the generation that actually starts the rebuilding process. Some of us can do great things and be millionaires and build businesses. Oh, I ain't know about the South America part because I'm only here, fam. You know, but we don't think about those things the same way. Like we're gonna be the people to rebuild it because when I think about it, one of the things I thought about the streets in the crack era was people didn't want to be a hardworking guy no more. And same thing, people didn't want to be oh, he's a garbage man. Oh, this guy, He's a welder. No, nobody wanted to do that anymore. Oh, that's beneath me. You got to go to school and be in an office, and now this guy's a carpenter. This guy's a landscaper. All that stuff, yeah, all that stuff became lame. Like Omega was talking, it became lame, and now all that stuff you don't need it. Exactly. Look, I got family members that was garbage, man. I get it. But we don't know where we at financially because it's like everybody wants to be a millionaire or some great juggernaut, and it's like, well, unfortunately, the guys who were the soldiers and the garbage men and the janitors, those were the houses that we lived in. The guy that worked at the plant, those was the houses that we lived in and grew up in. Those are the people who had the retirement money that sent people to college. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about it like, man, yeah, health is wealth also. I get that, fam. But now we gonna have to be those guys. Some of us at least. Some of us gonna have to be the guy who worked at this particular job for 20, 30 years. You know? Yeah, I know, honey. Like, this is why I'm having this video, because I don't think we realize that. George, what's happening, man? Like, I don't think we realize. I think we do realize it, but like I said, it's gonna have some real talk, because when I was thinking about that, the other thing I thought about is some of us just need to grow up. You know? Yeah, I'm trying to take on all skills like Dion. I feel you. You know, must be the money. It's turning them out. Prime. That's what I think. I think about that too, Omega. Like some of us scared of work. Some of us need to grow up. What's happening, man? Farnell, what's going on? And this is the thing, because when I was talking about that Lizzo thing and thing when Lizzo was popping up and all of this celebrity culture and all of this reality TV culture. Uh oh. All this culture started cracking me up when I was thinking about it. We got a lot of people who are grown as far as their age, but freaking childish. And somehow what's going on? Like, just freaking childish. Just needing to grow up more, needing to always have the fun life, and I need to live the life, and I need to live my best life, and you only live once, and I'm doing this and it's fun. And I was thinking about that with the Lizzo thing, where everything is empowering, everything. Man, if y'all don't shut up, and I'll be seeing these, the clips of when people make the independent films in the hood, and it's always a drug dealer story shootout, and I'm like, y'all need to grow up, man. Everybody ain't running and ducking in the streets and shooting out, because people keep acting like everybody's ready to blast out. No, you're not. And I can say that because I lived on that block. If a few of my homeboys that's from home was in the chat, they gonna tell you people didn't. My coaches, friends would not come on my block. If I was going home, I was on my own. And some people don't realize we need to grow up out of that mentality that I'm gonna be a star, because a lot of the stars didn't want to be stars. True story. Like, okay, like I said, I was born in New Orleans, grew up there, grew up on the west side of Chicago in the DMV. But when I moved here to Texas, my cousin, one of his neighbors was Master P, right? P wasn't about fame. P was about bread. P was looking for the money. Fame was just something that he got because he was in that industry. But he was like, look, I need to get paid, dog. I'm gonna do this for the cash. I'm trying to make some bucks. And I realized a lot of us just want to be seen and want to be famous and want to be known. But what's up, RBR? West side is the best side. Whatever you talking about. Oh yeah, Tompkins in here. You know, you need to trust in God. Okay, you need to put your faith in God. All right. you know, you know, I mean, being famous to me from the outside, being famous isn't necessarily stressful. Just to be known, but the stuff that people do behind closed doors is what's stressful. The people that call you asking for money, you know what I'm saying? The people who always gotta, what's up, Rollo, man? The people who always want, and people keep putting them on to you, and you're just like, no, 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 no. But let me get back to this part of it, with the more, you know. But some of us, we gotta realize we gotta grow up. All this stuff. Um, People want to play all these games, and it's funny to me because when I was younger, because I was raised by my grandparents, right? When you don't grow up, you just gonna wake up old one day and realize you ain't got stuff together. And what I mean by that is this: small things, like when I see people who don't have health insurance in their 40s and 50s, that makes me nervous. When I see people who who can't retire because they never put they never put away any money for retirement, but the money that they had, they, they kept using it to blow it on stuff, and now they don't have anything to show for it. They got a bunch of trips, a bunch of alcohol bottles, a bunch of weed, a blah blah blah, a bunch of pictures with stuff. Oh, Dingle, what's up, man? They got a bunch of events. They've been to a bunch of concerts, but they can't retire. And then they got family who just on their neck because they doing too much. You know, hey Mahogany, how you doing? A lot of us don't realize we gotta grow up because a lot of them, it don't hit us like some of us gonna be grandparents. You know, and you don't want to wake up and be a grandparent. And I thought about this recently because what's up, Scoopy? you know, I thought about this because it is in particular, like the older, how can I say this? I get tired of people older than me asking me for money. That I could never ask for money when I was younger. That don't make sense to me. You get what I'm saying? I get tired of hearing people's sad stories about what happened. And as if they don't know that I'm watching them. Like, I know what you did. You've been doing the same thing for years. For years. You live in the moment, you blow it all, and then you need help. Hold up, my phone ringing. That type of thing. People suck the life out of. I'm sorry about that. It's holiday season, and sometimes people suck the life out of holiday season. Some of us need to grow up. Raiders, what's up, man? I get tired of like Thanksgiving. My birthday was around Thanksgiving, so but people don't realize. People don't realize things like you get tired. I get tired of buying the food and cooking. But my mother was here this time, so it's not a big deal. But you gotta understand, like when I say, I miss my grandparents because I remember that going over to their house and having Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, and it's cool to be the person. It's cool. I'm glad you're saver, Tom. It's cool to be the person who people could come over their house and have the dinners and stuff, and people could call on. It's cool to be that person, but I wondered why my grandparents were struggling at times, and it was because having family members who weren't adults, who always who was grown enough to get in the club, who was grown enough to go to the liquor store, who was grown enough to see the dope man, who was grown enough to shop till they drop. But when the light bill was due, I need some help. That was just dumb. I appreciate it. You know that. Thanks, Raider. You know that's a problem. And I started thinking about it because, you know, uh, what's up, John? You know, we need to cook. Like I do the cook. I'm a backtrack. Like this Thanksgiving, I fried the turkey. What's up, Art? I made my sister was here, so she likes macaroni and cheese. So I made one macaroni and cheese that was just regular, and one shrimp and crab macaroni and cheese. I made some melatonin. A lot of y'all don't know what melatonin is, but that's a New Orleans thing. Uh, and some sweet potato crunch. And my mother made gumbo and green beans. And I made something else. You know, yeah, the grill master. I got my grill out in the backyard. So, you know, but it's good to do those things, but people don't realize how much is get put into it. Like I hated the family members that would come over and take a gang of Tupperware. You know, I ain't killing no chitlins there. You know, and and uh and come with the Tupperware and I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna take that. I remember one of my ex girlfriends was so mad at her sister for that. Like they spent like 8 hours cooking, and the sister came over and tried to take half of the food out on the way out of the door. They was like, "What the fuck you doing?" You know, I hate people like that because they greedy asses don't never do nothing for nobody. You know, yeah, you know, but they don't ever do nothing. And I'm saying people need to grow up for these reasons because we can't have families with a bunch of old children. We need adults. Like we need adults, you know, and I think about stuff like that because like I have a friend of mine that we ain't really friends no more. And I'm gonna tell you why. My grandmother, my best friend got shot in the head on New Year's Eve, like 10, 13 years ago, like just over 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago, actually. It was 10. And then 2 weeks later, my grandmother died. So those my two best friends. And and the only thing I wanted from my grandmother, which she gave me, which I asked her for, is all of her recipes. And she put them in this little thing. And I didn't want it just for the recipes. I wanted it for her handwriting because it's sentimental. So this female I know got mad. I don't know why. I let her stay at my house for a little bit, and then it was time for her to go. She threw some kind of tantrum, and I didn't realize what she did. She got mad. She was digging through stuff. I didn't realize she took that damn cookbook. And when I moved in my house and I was looking for it, that's when I realized this bitch took my. And it wasn't the recipes that she took that bothered me. It was my grandmother's handwriting. And this is one of those people who throw away everything. They just do stuff and I got this, and they never had a shit. And I was like, I'm gonna shoot this bitch. You know, I better never see this bitch again because I'm gonna shoot her. You know, and I thought about that because, you know, what up, Time Bandit? And I thought about that because I got family members who act like that. And what winds up happening is, oh shit. What winds up happening is, because they don't grow up and they play all these stupid games, they never have anything. And then they come back to you begging or asking for forgiveness or, yeah. You know, or asking for forgiveness or saying what's up, Dark Force? Oh, no, man. I can be, you know what? I'm a nice guy, but I can be quite ruthless. That's why I be so chill, because if I really want to do some shit, I ain't gonna lose no sleep. But they wind up putting themselves in these positions where they need your help, and they know it's not gonna go down because they know what they know how you get down, and they know me well enough to know it's gonna go left. Hotep, Cortez, Hotep. No, no, no. Thank you, Christina. So what ends up happening? Yeah, I have the chick couldn't cook. She couldn't cook, Omega, and I was teaching her how to cook at the time. So you know, to me it was just ridiculous. But I'm saying that to say because some of us don't grow up. What winds up happening is that you wind up coming. Great Black Shark, what's up? You wind up dealing with situations where these same people who don't want to grow up and be childish and don't want to grow up and be ridiculous and disrespectful and all that other stuff, you don't realize what's up righteously. You don't realize that you got to keep coming back because they don't have those are the type of people who don't have nowhere to go, don't have no friends, their family don't mess with them no more, and there's so many of us that's on that kick, that we don't realize it, and it's killing the community. It's killing us as a community because people ain't real when it comes to stuff like that. Nothing much, fam. Nothing much. Like we not real when it comes to stuff to that. Because part of the other thing I was thinking about was, we coddle people too much. And that's why I say going on some real talk. I'm not a fan of everybody gets a participation trophy. And, exactly, habitual line steppers. And the thing about it is, some of the ways I grew up, it's an old school mentality that, you violate, we demonstrate. If you was a kid and you got out of line, you got a whipping for that. You didn't follow the rules, you're going to get checked for that. You're going to get handled. What's up, Careless? Emmanuel, the society that we living in right now, what's up, Eugene? Everybody want to get coddled. And for me, it bothers me. That's why I kind of I'm like a homebody, and I stay to myself. I got friends, don't get it twisted, but I kind of stay to myself because people don't realize, all of this testing people and testing and acting like creating problems that don't exist, and I need to be seen, so I'm gonna do this little thing and cause a scene. How I grew up, that's gonna get you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the oh, I was just expressing myself. Oh, I feel like this. Why can't I just be this? Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. All the constantly nipping at somebody and nipping at them. It's like, okay, we're gonna see. Exactly, man. We're gonna express these hands. And it's like people don't think because a lot of times people forget. And I remember having this story talking about this. I was outside somewhere. I was at a grocery store, and somebody was just picking and picking. And I was like, hey, you need to chill out. And then they was like, I'll call the police. And I'm like, I'll knock your ass out before the police get here. That shit ain't gonna work. And this idea that, you gotta be real about this. We've coddled too many people. I ain't gonna lie. I miss the days where you can get your ass knocked out. I miss the days where when somebody's gonna come to you did what? I'm calling your daddy. I'm calling your granddaddy. You did what? Okay, I got something for your ass. I'm gonna see you, at 3 o'clock when school's out. All this, protecting people, and it's like protecting the wrong people at that. Somebody's a liar. We gotta what they went through something. Nobody give a goddamn what you went through. And you gotta take into consideration why I'm saying this is because we don't want to talk about it. Some of us can. Oh man, the fight Julia Williams Jalen Hurd tonight. Oh yeah, I gotta watch that. The thing about that is we don't want to talk about it where, you know what? Exactly. It's always a fuck up they get protection. And it's like, wait a minute, like, you know you're gonna get hurt, right? And I remember not being allowed certain places, even with my family. Like they wouldn't tell me certain things. I couldn't come around at certain points because they knew it might go down. All this forgiveness, I'm not a big forgiveness person. You know, I'm a person who will forgive you, but don't come around me. Because the reason I say coddling is because nowadays people want to forgiveness and they want to come around you to do the same shit that they did that caused y'all to fall out. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, no, no. Tompkin, I ain't gotta forgive shit. you know, that's the thing. Like, um, it's not a. I don't think society is at one of those points where it's time to start to you know, we didn't spare the rod and spoiled the children, and then all the children became adults. Now it's time to bring the rod back in their life. You get what I'm saying? Dollar Washington, thanks, man. You know, their deity can do the forgive. God don't forgive like that. See, this is the thing about forgiveness, and that's why I say, you know, can we have some real talk? Religion don't forgive. You got, you know what? I can be an angry person, Tompkins. I ain't got no problem with that. No problem with that. I would take pleasure out of punching somebody in the liver. If they got it coming, yeah. I mean, I'm talking about that body because you know there's a heaven and a hell. That means ain't no fucking forgiveness. You going to hell. When people say you going to hell, ain't no forgiveness in hell. You know, that's the thing. Like we're assuming that you know God forgives. God can forgive and send you to hell. You're forgiven, my child, but you will spend eternity in hell. All right, take that with you. I remind you, of your brother. Y'all, you need to trust in God. You know, and that's the thing. Like we've coddled people to the point where everything is cool, everything is forgivable. Our morals have become Sodom and Gomorrah. We don't have a stance that's really standard. Like this is right and this is wrong. It's always some other sucker shit involved. Man, Goshen, God dog, thank you, man. You know, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. I'll forgive you, but you still have to pay the consequences. We trying to use forgiveness as a way to get out of consequences. Dude, you forgive me, right? Okay. There's gonna be some restitution here. You know, I want restitution, and this is one of the things. Yeah, in the next eternity, and that's the thing, man. Because I think about it, and the reason I'm saying this, we coddle too much because on the flip side, Tiger, what's up? We don't respect each other enough, and that's one of the reasons I'm having this discussion. Man, thanks, Smoking Bull. We don't respect each other enough. We just don't, and that's a problem. And the reason why I say it's a problem because our respect is backwards. The people who are the most dysfunctional people are the people we respect the most, and the people that are the most respectable people are the people we disrespect the most. Don't you start this with me, Devin. You know, we disrespect those people. The people who got your back, you know, that's not who you gonna call that night. That's not who you gonna check on. That's not that's not who's on your mind and in your heart. The person that really don't rock with you like that, and in some way you want that person to rock with you, you know. Hell yeah, I get along with my coworkers. I'm a shit talker. What you mean? What are you looking for, Tompkins? Just spit it out. What are you looking for, man? What are you looking for? You know, right? That don't make no sense, Prime. No sense. You know, and that's a problem. Like because what winds up happening is we respect the people that we disrespect when they leave us alone. And and one of the things I was clowning with, I was talking to my son about this, because me and him wound up getting into it. And I'm like, you look, boy, if I gotta cuss you out to make you do something wrong. Yeah, you just messing around, whatever. And my son kind of got it like, yeah, that don't make sense. I'm like, yeah, it don't. Because if a person gotta cuss you out, do this, and this is why I said, when I was younger, I know how men get girls or young women or even grown women by being a bad boy. All you got to do is disrespect them. It's gonna turn her on. It's a twisted thing, but it's gonna turn her on. Don't do it, advocate. Don't do it, advocate. You know, some people, if you take a life, you gotta realize, you know, um, it might not be it might not be as fulfilling as you think. Some people get sick. Some people have that mental part, because if a person has it coming, it's self defense stuff like that. Yeah, but don't do nothing, just out there. But let me get to this about about the respect part. And the reason I'm talking about the respect part right now is because I've seen so many good people be be solo, and when you hear about them, they got a good reputation, and then you got to ask the question, because we rarely ask this question: if these people are so cool and so solid, and y'all were so tight, why y'all ain't cool no more? Because that person don't want to tell you, yeah, I kind of took advantage of their kindness. You know, like, oh, don't sweat it. You know, it's one of those things. Why they ain't rocking with you no more? And then people be like, wait, what? Till this day, respect is better than love. Respect is an act of love. You know, that's the thing. Respect is an act of love. You know, Cassandra, what's up? See, a lot of people think, we about to get. You know what? Let me talk about love for a second. Let me just love in our community is not love. Love in America is not love. Love in America is lust. I want you turn me on. I want to hit it. See, love is what you get from that family member that always knows what you like. What you looking for, and what we're looking for is people who love us like our mothers or fathers or aunts, uncles, or grandparents loved us, but somebody that we can procreate with. But you know, a lot of what's going on is some bullshit, because a lot of people don't have love in their hearts, because there's no sacrifice. There is no sacrifice. Like, people, when it's time to think about this, like when people talk about love, when it's time to do something for the other person, not all of a sudden something's wrong. I want this person to love. Okay, well, when that person says, "Could you do this?" How's that inconvenient? An act of love is inconvenient. You want a person's love, but their act of love is inconvenient. You to do something to express your love is inconvenient. You to be there for them when they're having a downtime, when they're facing adversity, or when they're mourning, all of a sudden you don't love them no more. They gotta be on point and perfect all the damn time for you to love them. Yeah, you can't accept the person. They not cool. Man, forget you got a salad. Take your salad, enjoy your salad, Devin. you know, and I started thinking about it, man, like, because that was part of the topics too. It's like, we don't want to admit, even on YouTube, A lot of this gender shit is because you want to be loved by the opposite sex. You want to have somebody in your life that loves you. But a lot of people in this gender war shit are fake as hell. And what I mean by the gender war shit, all of, you can't say that you like another person. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's up, Morris? Thanks. You can't say that you want a person. You can't say that, you care about a person. Man, get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit. And sometimes we're gonna make a wrong choice. Because let's just be honest, if somebody's fine, we might jump on them because they fine. They might not be shit. You know? And we overlook good people because of attraction. We do that. And some people who are unattractive and maybe good people don't want to be more attractive. And then it's like, you're not even going to put in no work for self-improvement. So I can't love that. I can love you, but I can't love the fact that you're not going to put in no work for self-improvement. You know, it's a balance. It's definitely a balance. And I sometimes I think about this shit and I'm like, man, we're not being real, man. Like, we're not. But at the same time, it's like we living in a fantasy where everybody wants to be a star. Everybody wants to be famous. What's up, Killmonger? And the crazy part is everybody wants to be in a good place. And this is one of the other things I want to talk about, that everybody wants to be in a good place. But when we think, a lot of us think a good place is the American dream. And the American dream is not a good place. Because the American dream is just really mindless consumption, or the ability to have mindless consumption. Opulence. There's no peace in mindless consumption. There's no peace in opulence. This is why a lot of people are having mental issues right now, because chasing the American dream is breaking people down mentally. I want to blow up and be famous. Yeah, well, everybody want to blow up and be famous. Whatever. Yeah. It's not going to happen. And that's the thing. Like, if you don't blow up and be famous, people are having mental breakdowns, which I don't understand. TD, what's up? No, Cassandra, I got to disagree with you now on that. Because the only reason I say that, 19 is a very young age. 19 is you're going to be very immature. But, and you're right about the age part. What I'm saying is because now people in their 30s have that same mentality. Because people never said it's time to grow up. Like my grandparents taught me this, they had responsibilities at a young age. They made us have responsibilities at a young age. And I'm seeing a lot of adults who didn't have enough responsibilities as a child, and now they dumbass adults. Looking for another parent, but they quote unquote grown. And it's because of that, you just a baby. You still a baby. You got time. And that sucks, man. Manny, what's up? Like, that sucks. Because that's part of our community. Morris, it's just about, can we have some real talk? Like, I went through a few things: financial, self-improvement, the need to grow up, loving relationships, respect, coddling each other too much. Right now, man, what is a good place? What is it? And that's the thing, like, and I hate to say this, because of this need for the American dream, a lot of us want to be around somebody who is in a good place mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, so we could suck the life out of them and then go back out into the world and do fuck shit. And then you keep thinking you're gonna find a great person to siphon off of every time the world beats you down. Set up a rendezvous. What the hell are you talking about, Dr. Nuts? But this is the crazy thing about it, right? Well, that's the new circle, and that's the crazy part of man. That's the new circle of life. I want all of this American dream shit, and I'm gonna do all this dumb shit to try to get it. And when it breaks me, I'm gonna find this person who in a good space in life, and they gonna patch me up, then I'm gonna throw them, flip them the bird, and get out into the world, and then come back when I'm beat up again. And I'm like, that's stupid. That's stupid. You can't fix people. You're right, Manny. And that's the thing about it. I think a lot of people aren't trying to fix people. I think a lot of times people are spotting functional people just like, what is that? Like Angela Simmons and Romeo. He's the good guy now, so I can come back to him one day. And I think a lot of people spot the good people from afar, and they like, you know what? When I'm done doing this dumb stuff, I'm gonna run to them. It's just like why I don't like going to church, because I haven't been to church in a very long time, because it, church isn't a good place to me. And the reason I say that because people always say church is for the sick, church is for the sick, and I'm like, I don't want to be around a bunch of sick motherfuckers. I don't want to be around a bunch of motherfuckers who just going through it all the time, every week. Every week it's another sermon about what because you're struggling, because you're on drugs, because you got beat by a Tonka truck. I ain't trying to hear all of that shit every week. You know, that's cool, but that bothers me. And I used to sit in church and wonder, like, damn, is any good things happening in life? Like anything? Like, what's the problem? What's up, benevolent? My bad. Like that frustrated me alone, because people weren't happy. And if you're struggling every week, every year, it it will behoove you to say, you know what? I'm not doing something right. I'm not. If your health is struggling every year, you gotta eat better and exercise. If your finances are struggling, you might have to work harder, or do more hours on the job, or work overtime, or pick up a second job, or learn a trade, or learn how to trade stocks, or do something different, right? Yeah, I get you what you're saying, Tompkins, but we're not putting it in that space where we're not in a good place because we want somebody else to come along and do it, and that's the problem. It's everybody thinks they're. I ain't gonna say everybody. Too many people think they're deserving of somebody to come in their life and make their life better. That shit ain't cool. How you gonna be you want somebody to come on? What's up, Gab? You want some? You don't want to. I see loving a cute stylish. I love seeing a cute stylish Asian man. Wow. Man, look at you, Dana. The Asian man might get your stuff together. Oh man, she does have a lot of L's to hold, Cassandra. You know, this is the thing about that. Like for me, it just it doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit well because you can't expect somebody to come along in the world and put you in a better space. Because what you're saying is you're you're saying is you're lazy. Yeah, yeah, Mike. You're lazy. You deserve for somebody who's been putting in the work in their life and putting their life at a certain place. You deserve that they should just put you in that same place too. That's messed up. Because I've been going through it. I deserve a person that got it together to pull me out of this. Well, hell, what does that person deserve? What does that person deserve then? And that's a problem that we need to talk about. What's good? Hey, matter of fact, I talked about this earlier. KD, am I lying when I said when I was in high school, nobody wanted to come to my house because they didn't want to come on that block? Now, you know, Cause we went to high school together. See, I'm like, coaches didn't want to come. Friends didn't. Nah, they ain't going over there. I mean, it was always something going down on that block. But that was the thing where we don't realize, it's always something. Thank you, keep it techie. You know, they do deserve a burden, but that's the thing. We shouldn't be other people's burden. See, oh man, I was talking about that earlier, KD. I was like, people didn't even want to go on my block. Like I actually, the block I was living on was, it was pretty hot. But the crazy part about it is when we think about life, you did go over there. It was I'll never forget some of those things. I never like family Maywood's finest. Like we ran track and played football together. You know. Oh, gee, no, them was foes on my block. Them was foes. Thanks, Gab. Um, I take that. But it was one dude that was a GD. And the dude that tried to start that fight that I wound up chasing in the building, his ass was a GD. You know what? Let me get back to the topic. Yeah. But we don't realize that, at the end of the day, what winds up happening is I don't understand how we don't want to be a blessing to other people. We want everybody to be a blessing to us. And that's detrimental. Because if you don't want to be a blessing to yourself and you want somebody else to be a blessing to you, then that means you feel like you deserve to be a taker because you're always struggling. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And I've seen people blow a lot of things. You said you find out what? Don't do it. Don't do it, Mike. You know what? If it's time to, hey, Mike, I'm going to tell you something. I ain't one of those people that say get a divorce. If you can work it out, work it out. It's best for the family. But that's going to be a hard thing to work out. I get that. I do. I definitely do. She was hanging out with Dana. That's how he found out. So, one of the other things we got to have some real talk about is this. Education. Education. Okay, like a lot of us want to get an education. A lot of us are thinking about education. A lot of us have kids that you caught it in the act, fam. You know what? It's that time. What's going on, Mr. E? You know, you ain't gonna unsee that. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say that. I feel sorry for you on that one, fam. I hate to say that. Because I know people who've actually caught theirs in the act and they never could unsee that. They never could. As much as they love the person, they never unsaw that. They stayed married after those incidents. But it ended up ending because of those incidents. So sorry. But the thing I'm gonna talk about right now is education because I think our community needs to take this into consideration. One of the reasons that we're not in STEM, and I should have said this shit earlier when I was talking about self-evaluation and growing up. So my apologies. One of the reasons a lot of us aren't in STEM because our families didn't push us towards STEM because education wasn't as necessary as it is nowadays. And the other thing about that is, what's up, Black? Oh man, I'm glad you caught it. Education ain't what it was, what it is now. And the reason I say that is because the other thing is because I remember having teachers who didn't want us to be good in STEM. I remember having teachers Like I had a chemistry teacher in high school. She would hide our damn grades, so we couldn't do good in class. You know, our parents didn't do that. I had other teachers who, kind of not cool in STEM. But actually, some of my best teachers were STEM teachers too. My physics honors teacher in high school, Mr. Kovacic, he was dope. Um, who was that? I had my algebra teacher was actually one of my football coaches. He was cool. He's a cool coach. Cool guy too. I think it's Beastall. I think it's Beastall. Mr. Scoble, I remember him. He was my biology teacher. But a lot of the tech, engineering, math, a lot of that stuff, the teachers didn't, we raised our hands. We weren't necessarily smart, right? Or we were too smart, rather. So they didn't want to call on us. So a lot of times we didn't go in those things. And now looking back on it, I realized even my family didn't push me to STEM, because I had a choice. But I didn't. I would have never known. I never knew the importance of engineering, or math, or tech, or science. I never knew because I didn't have family members that were in those fields. I had family members who were politicians, teachers, uh, uh, blue collar workers. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really in STEM. And ironically, my older cousin, the one that played in the NFL, he actually got a degree in engineering. I didn't even know what the fuck engineering was. But he's 10 years older than me, so it was something that. Wait, what school was it? I was talking about high school then. That was on the west side of Chicago. When I got to college, you know, I had already made my mind up what I was gonna major in. I didn't even think about it, to be perfectly honest. So, but the other thing I was thinking about as far as education was one of the things that cracked me up. I was behind the curve because I didn't get in STEM, but I was ahead of the curve because I went to college knowing that I didn't want to have student loan debt. So by the time I graduated college, I owed either 2,800 or 3,200 for college in loans. That was it. So like 8 months after I graduated, I paid all that shit off. So I don't have student loans, you know. And I think about that because we need to have a real talk in our community where other people. Yes, it is on the west side. Okay, KD, which side is it on? Goddammit, it's on the west side. Wait. Yeah, that's it, Dana. Wait a minute, KD. Where is it at? Like, you know, I had a partial for track. I got a partial for track because I went to play football, but they didn't let me play football. So I basically walked on the track team, and I could run. Well, I could run at the time. I wasn't as good as I was in high school, because I pulled my hamstring in high school, so I couldn't run 100 or 200 real well. We live in a village. Fine, whatever you want to call it. We live in a village and I live in the jungle. Ain't that a goddamn shame? But that's the thing. Like, because one of the first things, and this is, I'm saying this for a reason. When I first went to Southern, because I went to Southern first. I first got there, orientation. Something happened. It was talking about a guy who went to Tulane. And Tulane is a good school in New Orleans. Expensive as hell. So they were talking about the guy who graduated, I think summa cum laude or something like that. And he had a speech where he was like, he was glad he graduated, but he was like a quarter, either $100,000 or $250,000 in debt already. And that was '97, because I started college in '97. And when I heard that, nah, you ain't finna catch me up. Not finna happen, B. And I started thinking about it where I saw people on campus. You know, my older cousin was at the NFL, and he was like, he called me one day. I was in my room. He says, "Man, I got a navigator." I'm like, what the fuck is a navigator?" Now, this is 97, 98 maybe. And he's like, I'm like, what the fuck is a navigator? See, I didn't know. My major was psychology, Dana. So I didn't know what a navigator was. You know, uh oh, what's up, chaos? And I didn't know what it was. I had to look it up in a magazine. I was like, that's a dope truck. About a month later, one of the kids on campus, you see that I smoking bull? One of the chicks on one of the not chicks, one of the dudes on campus pulled up with a navigator, like on 20 something inch rims. And I'm thinking to myself, this nigga don't I'm this car. Oh, you graduated from oh shit. Keep it tacky. You went to the lab? Oh man. Well, I didn't. That was when it first came out, Dana. That was when the Navigator first came out in the late '90s. I had no idea, no idea. But when I saw the dude on the campus with it, I'm like, that's like a $50,000 truck. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie, keep it techie. I miss Tony's. I miss Tony's. Not so much Ralph and Cacoo's. Tony's, I miss. Thanks, O'Shea Linux. You know, but I kind of miss the band too. Not the band per se, but the atmosphere at the games with the band and the game going. I miss that. I ain't gonna front. I miss that. But the thing about the education was when I saw the dude buy the truck, I'm like, this motherfucker using his student loan money. I had a homeboy of mine. He got his refund check, and he went to the casino to try to double his check. I don't know if it started in Jackson, Mississippi, but when I was in college, Ralph and Cat Coons was in Baton Rouge. One of my homeboys was a waiter. But this fool went to the casino. I want to say Casino Rouge, and he lost his rent money to pay the rent for the next 6 months. You know, the student loan money or whatever, trying to double it to have money for the year, and he wound up living, couch to couch. But that money is still money he had to pay back. And I think about it for all the friends I know who family told them to go to college, get an education. And I started thinking like, see, I don't know where it started. Keep it taking. Tony's the best though. You're right. I still like that crawfish boudin. And them crab fingers. Oh man, that shit was good. And that lady, whoever that lady was with the pralines, he minded and stupid. Oh man, that's what we doing. you know. So I mean, the reason I talk about this because I'm glad you almost done with your student loans because I remember, man, pralines. Oh man, I remember dealing with meeting so many people as an adult. Now, it's I know people right now who got 6-figure jobs who still paying student loans. And I remember having one of my ex-girlfriends. Hey, well, I try to budget, Dana. I try, sugar. One of the reasons I'm talking about this because a lot of times we sending these kids to school and they not knowing how much this gonna cost them. They're not knowing about them credit card loans and them student debts. They're not knowing how to be broke because some of our families are coddling these kids when they're in college and buying them everything, and now they shopping and shit. Look, man, you know how many chicks I know right now who, uh, why L.A.R. Oh, what song is that? That's Green Light. Angie, wait a minute. Angie, is that really you that's here? Are you really here now? I just wanted to know that. Are you really here now? We going out. I don't care what you say. We going out. Yeah, green light. I'm not paying back nothing. Reparations ain't gonna pay shit. Well, yeah, I don't mind Riley. There you go. Uh, because I know people who spent a lot of money shopping. Some of the girls I knew was doing their hair, taking vacations and all that shit. And it was young and fun, and all that stuff caught up with them. And no problem, fam. And okay, well, legend, I'm gonna tell you this now. If you get any money over, if you got student loans, put that money aside. Put that money aside. The extra money, put that shit aside, and knock out a chunk of that damn loan the minute you get out of college. You know, because trust me, bro, it's not cool. One of my friends right now, I got a few friends that work in the banks. And one of my homeboys, he had told me a few years back, he was like, "Yeah, man, we got to take people's student loan into consideration when it comes to buying homes." I was like, "What? Not the Cowboys, Big Poke, dog." And I'm like, "Yo, are you tripping right now?" He's like, "Yeah, good, good. Get that degree and make that change, fam." Oh yeah, they gonna get their money. They see, fam. They garnish. They do a lot of stuff. All right, a lot of us, and I'm glad, Nahandi. I'm sorry. I'm glad. I'm glad because a lot of our families can't do that. Graduate and do your thing, bro. I mean, salute to you. Salute to you. Graduate and do your thing. Because a lot of us don't have parents like that. And this is what puts a lot of us in debt. And that's why I was talking earlier about the crack era. Because a lot of people don't realize that really crippled a lot of our families financially. It wasn't the people who spent the money on the drugs, the people we kept trying to bail out of jail because of the drug era. The thing where we're talking about we didn't support the people going to college, but we supported the people who was doing crime. That killed the family financially. So a lot of times the people who got to rebuild it is a lot of the people who went to school and got degrees, but they got loans out the ass. But you're not gonna tell these kids that you got to watch out for these loans. You know, we don't tell them the truth. And I see a lot of and when they talk about the women who went to school, got an education, and all these great things, I ain't mad at them. Wait, hold. Don't delete nobody's comment, fam. I gotta see it first. Don't do stuff like that, cause don't yeah. Cause a lot of times we clowning in here. It ain't nothing serious. If somebody's out of pocket, I get rid of them. You ain't even gotta worry about it. All right. Sorry about that, Tony. So that's one of the things. Well, and I hate to say this because a lot of times a lot of times what's killing a lot of us is student loans, children. I got you. It's no problem. It's no problem, Rylan. Student loans, children, and credit cards. This is what I see in our community that's killing us financially because we want people to get out of poverty so they go to college. People have kids sometimes too early, and or sometimes having the kids and going and not being technically a family is costly because family's not together no more. Yeah, it is kind of a setup, fam. It is, you know, because this split up family is a financial burden too. It ain't just a financial burden because you're not in the same household. It's also a financial burden because you got to think about it. And this is why I don't like the baby mama drama and baby daddy drama because if you come together, it saves you money. Both sides of the family can watch the kid. Both sides of the family can have a kid for the summers and the breaks, and it saves you money. Both people can help you raise the kid, and you don't have to spend so much money on daycare, this, that, and the third. But financially, we fucking up because everybody wants to get an education, get a good job, but now you just out here as an independent person, and Now you get hit with every bill in the world, and there's no family to come together because you was out here supposed to get a good. Should I get a second martini? I don't know if you're getting a second martini. I don't know, Dana. You might be turning up. You might be twerking like Lizzo, in your room after that second martini. I just can't. I don't know. I don't know. You know, that's one of the. What? Let me finish this topic a little bit. That's one of the problems. Now we want these people to get educations, and I see a lot of these. Like I didn't realize this. Like we send the girls off to college to get a good education and this, that, and the third. And the girls are feeling like they're in corporate America working and they're killing it and this, that, and the third. And I ain't hating on that. But I'm gonna tell you two things that I've noticed about the women who've done this. Besides the student loan debt. One, they move a lot. Because they're trying to prove themselves in corporate America, they move a lot. So they really have no roots anywhere. They may make good amount of money. They may have a good career, but they really don't have a home. You know, we're about to get the coach from Ohio State. Oh hell no, y'all ain't finna get that cat. What's up, Q? What's going on? Subscribe to Q. Hold up, let me see if I could. God dog it. Yeah, there you Q, man. Salute to you, man. They move a lot. And I realize this about, a lot of the people, a lot of the ladies in corporate America. Man, salute to you, fam. You know, it's all love. One of the crazy things about it is I didn't notice this at first, but when people that corporate America thing, a lot of times they don't have roots, so they've lived in 4 or 5 different places, but they don't really have a home. You get what I'm saying? What do I think of black? Really? I mean, they cool. Like I don't. Here's the thing. I could crack jokes about things. What's up, James? But ML, I'm gonna tell you something. If it makes you a better person, that's all that matters. Some of the guys and some of the people who are doing Hebrew Israelites, some of it that's over the top. I can't rock with it because it's over the top. I don't like too much over the top stuff. But I do know people who are better people and functional people because they're Israelites. So I ain't gonna hate on that. I've been listening to Pastor Dowd on this shit for years, and he's an Israelite. I salute to that cat. But that's why I'm talking about finance perception. Like, when you don't have a place to go, exactly. It's one of those things where corporate America, see, America is a plantation. That's just what I'm trying to say about when it comes to education and finance and stuff. America is a plantation. This country's economy was built on slavery, and every business built after that was built on slavery. It's all, and it's not slavery, but it's sharecropping. Corporate America is sharecropping. You got to figure out how you gonna win in this sharecropping country. And there are ways around it, but it's not gonna be an easy road. It's always gonna be a long road. That's the thing. It's always gonna be a long road. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we think alike, Q. It's sharecropping. And a lot of times when we get a certain salary, if anybody read Rich Dad Poor Dad, that was one of the things about it when he was talking about Rich Dad had basically created a bunch of passive income. And he was working multiple jobs and creating multiple companies and businesses. Poor Dad, which was his dad, was a teacher, and every time he got a pay raise, he upped his lifestyle. So he looked rich, or looked like he was upwardly more mobile, but financially, he was always at the same level. Because instead of pocketing that money and building on that, he was stuck. So that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us gonna get stuck. This is why I was talking about it earlier with the crack era. A lot of us stuck because a lot of us didn't inherit anything because, quote unquote, the crack era. You get what I'm saying? It demolished our families' finances. Because even the guys who talk about the drug era and all that, all 99% of them dudes broke now. 99% of the guys who was in the streets dealing drugs and had money, look at them. The vast majority of them broke, even the big ones. Even the big ones. What's up, X? Even the big ones. We did have generational wealth. I can't say we didn't. Like I said, like my family, our land was stolen by white folks. They ran my great grandmother out of that town, and she had to hide in the projects. You know, so it's a different thing. But I had other family members who had businesses, and they could pass down the businesses. But we had generations of people who I know to this day wanted to inherit the money, but still wanted to live their best life with the money. So now you didn't pass down a skill, a business, or an inheritance down to the next generation. You just left everybody to run on their own. You know, and that's the problem. When everybody ran on their own, you had one. I had some family members who balled out on other people's hard life's work and labor, and I had other people who had to deal with that shit and had to start from scratch. And that's where the disconnect came from. And even with the drug era, them motherfuckers just spent money on being fly. That's all. They spent money on being fly. The vast majority of them spent money on being fly. I got some cars. I got some clothes. You know, a lot of them guys didn't even necessarily travel or go places unless you was moving weight. But other than that, motherfuckers was staying in the same city, doing fuck shit. You know, just wanting to be seen. Just dumb. But now we got a generation after that. They gotta get it out the mud. Get it out the mud. You know, retirement isn't an illusion. Here's the thing I will say about this. Retirement isn't an illusion, but a lot of us don't want to take this into consideration. We have better health care than people did in the past. So you're going to fucking live longer if you take care of yourself. You know, if you take care of yourself, you're going to live longer. So saying that, and you can be more productive in American society because you're going from because we're gonna always have to have agriculture because we're gonna need to eat, even though we're trying to people with all this fucking food, all this shit ain't organic. You can tell that. But then you got hands-on stuff. And then you got the technology-based stuff. You know, if your health is good and you're productive and active, what's gonna wind up happening is we outliving the retirement age now. You know, we're outliving the retirement age. So guess what? You know, we're not doing it. And I'm gonna tell you another thing about that. The people who are employed and have jobs that have retirements, I don't think a lot of people are putting into their retirement. That's just my personal opinion. Because, and when I say they're not putting into it, the vast majority of the people who put into their retirement dip into their retirement, whether it's for vacations, cars, or medical expenses. You know what I'm saying? Or just medical shit. And they wind up having to dip into their retirement, and they got the penalties and all this, that, and the third. So by the time they actually the age to retire, they can't. And this idea that some of us don't want to admit that I don't want to work a job, I don't want to work the man. Look, if you making money and you taking care of yourself and your family, I mean, you better work a damn job, you know, until the house is paid off. You don't want if that's the goal, work that particular job until the house is paid off, and then you do whatever the hell you want. Because all you got to pay then is taxes and utilities. You know, what's up? Oh yeah, there's something going on in the chat, but I ain't tripping. You know, so you know, it's one of those things. It's just it's ridiculous. I don't even know what corriente mean. I can't tell you what corriente mean. Break that to me. I can tell you the rest. But because of our health, we gonna work we gonna work longer. And some of us are gonna die earlier. And some of us are not gonna yeah, some of us are gonna die earlier. But you gotta remember, even with white America, the like 50 to 55% of the white population is over 55 years old. Think about that. That's probably damn near maybe 100 million white folks that are over 55 years old. They're not gonna be here, you know, and those families are not gonna be in financial upheaval. I'm just saying, but let me get my. I've been on here for a while. I got to talk to my son, so it's about time to talk to him. So I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I might do this tomorrow, but I've been working my ass off, so I'm off tomorrow. So I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Keep it taking. Catch you later. Peace. Yeah, daddy time.